What I'm trying to do here is wake him up. You got to wake up. I wouldn't let a single thing go by without raising a stink, without crusading over it. If he does 100 bad things, you're on TV the next day and you're talking about all 100. Take no prisoners. All in. All right, so you all know AOC and Bernie have been leading the charge more so than most. Jasmine Crockett has been doing the same. Maxwell Frost. A lot of these people are out there saying the right things, doing the right things, really crusading, becoming more popular as a result of the fact that they're leading, as opposed to Chuck Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries, who are useless. They're useless. Well, here comes my boy yet again, Tim Walz, and he is done holding back, y'all. And it is a beautiful thing to see. I could have played I saw like 4 or 5 different awesome clips from him in this past week. But let me give you just a little taste here. I'll give you a few. So let's start here. This is in The Hill. Tim Walz said ICE agents are the modern-day Gestapo. By the way, the right was already crying and shitting themselves and moaning over this. Cry and moan and whine all you want. He is 100% correct. When you are rounding people up with no due process and sending them to a slave labor camp, yes, that is Gestapo shit. When you're arresting judges, yes, that is Gestapo shit. Here's what they say. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz compared federal law enforcement agents carrying out President Trump's immigration crackdown to a World War II-era Nazi police force during a commencement speech over the weekend. Oh, that is so based. He said it during a commencement speech. My dog. Donald Trump's modern-day Gestapo is scooping folks up off the street. Walz, the Democratic vice presidential nominee last fall, said during the University of Minnesota Law School's graduation Saturday, they're in unmarked vans, wearing masks, being shipped off to foreign torture dungeons, no chance to mount a defense, not even a chance to kiss a loved one goodbye. Just grabbed up by masked agents, shoved into those vans, and disappeared. Walz was referring to the Trump administration's fast-track deportations of migrants and pro-Palestinian activists on college campuses as carried out primarily by Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Numerous arrest videos posted online have shown officers making ambush arrests since Trump took office. Quote, this is what the crumbling of rule of law looks like in real time, and it's exactly what the founders of the nation feared. A tyrant abusing power to persecute scapegoats and enemies, Walz said. DHS, which oversees ICE, responded with a statement on the social media platform X, quote, it is absolutely sickening to compare ICE law enforcement agents to the Gestapo. Attacks and demonization of ICE and our partners is wrong. ICE officers are now facing a 413% increase in assault. Wah, people are accurately calling me out. Wah. Piss off. Punch the bullies in the face. That's what Tim Walz is doing here. Punch them in the face. This reminds me of when he said, I love watching the line on the Tesla stock go straight down. I think that's beautiful. And then they're, how dare you say, what a jerk, how dare you say that? And he's like, bitch, did I stutter? I like seeing that line go down. It makes my day, motherfucker. Yes, this is how you fight. Do not back down. He's 100% correct. Punch the bully in the face, they'll cry, they'll whine, they'll moan. Ultimately, they have no real rebuttal. They have no real rebuttal. Trump himself faced backlash last year after he told Republican donors at his Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida that then President Biden was running a Gestapo administration. Yeah, Biden had the Gestapo. Not you, Biden had the Gestapo. These people are running a Gestapo administration, Trump told the crowd, according to audio, blah, blah, blah. Walz said, right now, more than any other time in my lifetime, we need you to live up to the oath that you're about to make, because I have to be honest with you, you are graduating into a genuine emergency. Thank God for Tim Walz, man. I fucking love this guy. I will never forgive the lying, charlatan, scumbag con men, people like Joe Rogan, who smeared this guy based on nothing but bullshit right-wing narrative. Oh, tampon Tim, he wants to give tampons to boys. That was a lie. We went back and read about it. It was very clear. The rule was to put tampons in the girls' room. That's what and they lied and spun, oh, he wants to give the boys tampons. Like, everything they went after him with was totally fucking cooked up, totally bogus. And the reason the right did that is because they knew they had to change the conversation from what his actual record was. That was the goal. Let's try to distract people, because if we talk about his actual record, well, we're screwed, because he did a bunch of awesome shit. He did free school breakfast and lunch for kids. He did legal weed. He did carbon-free electricity by 2040. He did 12 weeks paid family leave and 12 weeks paid sick leave and red flag laws for guns and free public college for families that make under $80K. And he increased funding for K-12 schools by over $2 billion, and he did sectoral bargaining for nursing home workers so they make more money. Like, the reason why they kept bringing up those bullshit things is because they knew they couldn't defeat Tim Walz on the policy substance. They knew he runs circles around them because he actually delivered for the people of Minnesota. So instead, lie, smear the guy, make it seem like he's crazy. That was the goal. But now, he's out of fucks, bro. He's got no more fucks to give. So I got another one for you here. Here he is, Harvard Kennedy School, doing some event. And this is a great clip. It basically asking about the future of the Democratic Party and the gerontocracy and stuff like that. Watch this.
It is far harder being a young person in America now than it ever was. They are lying to you if they tell you that it was hard when they were growing up. Oh, we went to school on horseback, uphill. Bull crap. They went with almost no cost. I never worried once from a family that had no money that I was going to be able to go to school, and I never worried once I was going to be shot in a classroom. It's different now. And I think the one thing is that the country is hungry to see the optimism of youth, because right now, the mental health crisis, the stress you're under, there's a lot of things coming at you. I think you making the option to come here, and those who are wondering, like, this is a pretty engaged group, but I would tell this to everybody who's out there. Politics is who shows up, who literally shows up. I didn't do a single thing electoral politics other than vote until I was 41 years old. And the next thing I know, I'm there with the vice president. I'm like, damn, life comes at you fast. and it was just showing up and being in the right places. So I think right now, that for your own mental health, show action and getting out there. But here's the thing, this youth movement that's happening, and it's not ageism and all this, some people are too old, we can say that, but that you don't want to generalize it together. But the thing about youth there energizes everyone. And it re-energizes the party. And I think you should bring the ideas to this. Maybe I'm misvisioning what I think the Democratic Party is, and there needs to be more expense. Because look, we're having a debate. You said it, Brittany. We're having a debate. Look, you guys are focused too much on these fringe issues. Well, somebody's personal civil liberties is not really a fringe issue to them. And if we're not able to stand up for that, do they really believe we're going to stand up for other stuff? Because I got to say this, if Donald Trump's going to go full bigot, he's not giving an inch and he's going to stay there. So if that's your gig, you're with him because you know he's got your back on bigotry or whatever it might be. We need to be the ones that make it clear who we are. And I don't know if we're speaking to you yet.
God bless this guy, bro. God bless this guy. I'm exactly where he is on this, bro. I can't. Anybody who wants to narrow the scope of the stuff we talk about in this moment where there's an all-out assault on every single front, hell no. I'm not giving an inch. And I'm going to ride just as hard to protect my trans brothers and sisters, my immigrant brothers and sisters. I'm going to fight just as hard on that front and not give a fucking inch in the same way I'm not going to give an inch when it comes to raising the minimum wage and passing the PRO Act and making it so people can join a union and getting universal health care.
We allowed them to define what I think, and President Biden's move on this was, the move to forgive student loans was something that our generation could finally get right for you. And they made that a problem for us, and it should have never been. The reason that these boomers and stuff are telling you that we paid our way through, because it didn't cost anything. There was no need to take out a loan because the generation in front of us paid on the front end. So this idea now that we made college so unaffordable, home ownership so unaffordable and everything, we have got to change that so that you feel like the party really does care.
It's just like, what kind of a society do you want to live in, right? What kind of a society do you want to live in? MAGA and the Republicans are telling you what their vision of an ideal society is. And their vision of an ideal society, as Trump says all the fucking time, is like the 1890s and 1900, where we had just a total fucking hellscape in ultra-capitalist industrial revolution, disgusting situation where you had child labor. You had people living in tenement homes, 12 people in 2 rooms, right? Where you had to fight for crumbs, like you're peasants fighting for crumbs. And you had the robber baron, literally the robber baron era, where the robber barons were on top and they were bleeding everybody dry. Like 7 people had all the wealth and everybody else fought for the crumbs. And that's what he wants. And that's what he's bringing about. That's why his tax bill is class war. Raise taxes on the bottom 90%, only cut it for the top 10% and mostly for the top 1%. Destroy Medicaid as we know it. No more health care for poor people. No more health care for disabled people. Cut that. We don't need that. Right? Cut pediatric cancer research, the anti-scam police, Meals on Wheels, home heating assistance. They are telling you what their ideal system is. We need a countervision to that. What's actually an ideal system? Well, in my mind, like he's alluding to here, college should be free. College should be free. You go to high school, it's paid for by tax money. You get out of high school.